I'm not Presley by chance. I'm not Presley by mistake. I am Presley on purpose. I'm not Presley by chance. I'm not Presley by mistake. I am Presley on purpose. And this episode of Presley on Purpose is brought to you by Queens Royale, my lifestyle brand for women and men who wear their confidence out loud every single day. So, hey, y'all, it's your girl, Adina K. Presley, and welcome to Presley on Purpose. Listen, y'all already know this is not the buttoned up CEO version of me. This is the real me, the healed me, but still human me, the sister friend and the good girlfriend version of me, the funny around the way girl, big sister who done lived some ish me. And here we talk about the stuff I generally don't post, the moments that break you, the moments that build you, and the moments that lead you towards the healed version of you. So every week we're getting into purpose, reinvention, boundaries, healing, and choosing yourself loudly, boldly, and without apology. So get your good going tea, get comfortable, get honest, and get ready because we're rising and we are rising on purpose. So, hey, y'all, thank you for joining me on Presley on Purpose. I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Today's topic that I want to talk about is, and I don't even know if I have a title about this topic yet, so I'm just going to jump right into it. So, I happened to be scrolling on Instagram the other day, and I saw a gentleman get on there, and he asked a question to men. And his question to men was, if your woman was to get fat, will you stay with her? Now, when I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm just here for the comments. I was like, I'm not even going to say anything. I just want to see what other women or men have to say. And the interesting thing was his comment was he would try to encourage her to want to try to help her to lose weight. But if she didn't want to do it and she became fat, that was not his preference and he would leave her. So I did jump into the comments. I wanted to see what people were saying. And some of the fellows was like, yeah, I'm going to stick with her. I'm going to try to encourage her to get her to work out or whatever. And then came the women. Some women were a little upset. They had a valid point. One woman said, us women, we tend to be very loyal and we stick around when men get fat and bald and get big stomachs. And we stick around. And I have to be honest, generally speaking, we do because we love for love. If you are our man and you may have been felt when we was younger, and you may have had a head full of curly, beautiful Indian in your family hair, we generally stay with you when you get a little older, the beard gets a little gray or the hair starts to disappear and the weight starts to creep up. But one woman got on there and she made such a valid point when it came to weight loss, because he was basically saying that women have a choice to lose weight. And although we do have a choice to lose weight, some of us actually don't, especially when you get to a certain age. And you probably heard my fan going off because you've seen in other episodes that I am a woman of a certain age. And I often have hot flashes, or as my cousin calls it, a power surge. And that is hormonal. That is something we have no control over. And when it comes to weight, and if you can't seem to shed the weight because you may be dealing with something that is hormonal or dealing with menopause, losing weight for women can be difficult. Also, bearing children, having children, women don't always snap back like they show these celebrities doing, because first of all, we don't have the celebrity money, we don't have the trainers, we don't have the chefs or the nutritionists or the cooks, and we certainly don't have the money to go and get a full mommy makeover after we have children or every time we have children because we're in a spotlight. So you can't compare every woman and treat them the same when it comes to weight loss, because some of us just can't help it. I've been skinny my whole life. I gave birth to my two girls, and those of you that know me from way back when, I was a size 0. Okay, I was a size 0 until I was 21. And I gave birth to Tone, and then I had Tati. And even back then, I thought I was big. I think I was wearing like a size 10 after I had Tati, and I thought I was fat. You know what I'm saying? And as time went on and age started creeping up, so did the weight. And I didn't care what I did, I could not lose the weight. I did Weight Watchers. I did Slim Fast. I did, what was that where you don't eat the carbs? I did that diet. I did everything under the sun to try to lose the weight, and it just wasn't happening for me. And then come to find out that it had a lot to do with my hormones. And that's the reason why I struggled for many years to lose the weight. One thing I had to also accept that I am never going to be a size 0 no more. I also had to accept the fact that now that I am a woman of a certain age, that it's not going to be as easy for me to lose the weight. I have made better decisions now that I've gotten older. I have been mindful of the way I eat when it comes to trying to lose weight and maintain weight. And I'm telling you, I was a thickums. Woo, Nelly, I was a thickums. And I'm going to be honest with you, I even took the shot. At one point, I had to take the shot because it was just not working for me to try to do it on my own. I couldn't do it. Now, luckily, I was able to afford to be able to do it. And then one of the things about that is once you get onto the shot, you have to make sure that you are adopting good habits. So what worked for me, even after I stopped taking the shot, because now I can maintain my weight. And like I said, I'm always going to be a thick chick. I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? I never want to be skinny anyway. And especially at this age, you want somebody to have something to hold on to. I got plenty for them to hold on to. But honestly, I gotten to the point where I know what works for me as far as my eating habits are concerned. So, for instance, I've conditioned myself, and a lot of people that's gone out with me knows I only eat half of my food when I go out. That's just something that I do as a habit. So for years, I can go out to dinner and you bring me a big old plate of food, and I'm only going to eat half, if that much. And I bring the other half home. And either I eat it, or we always say we bring it to the baby and Tati will eat it. But I've adopted certain habits that works for me, that allows me to maintain the weight that I'm okay with. I'm okay at being the size that I am, because again, I'm a woman of a certain age, and being skinny for me is just not for me. Like I said, I'm a thick chick. I've been a thick chick after I had my children. I'm forever going to be a thick chick. But what I prefer to be is a thick chick that is healthy, a thick chick that it feels good in her skin, a thick chick that likes what she wears, a thick chick that is confident, a thick chick that loves on her, and then a thick chick that gets loved on. You know what I'm saying? So he was entitled to his opinion. That's how he felt. That's all good. I want to shout out all the men though who did comment and said that they were sticking it out. They were stugging it out with their women regardless of how much weight she gained. And then also shout out to the men who said that even if they did have a problem with her gaining some weight, that they were going to encourage her so that they can work out together and help her get to a goal or get to a weight that is comfortable for her. Excuse me. Because in my opinion, it's not even all about the weight, it's all about the health. Perfect example, like watching my 600-pound life. Yeah, that's extreme. I know it, but that is a real thing. That, in my opinion, has a lot to do with past trauma. That has a lot to do with self-esteem issues. That has a lot to do with mental issues. For somebody to get into that place and then can't lose the weight, they might want to lose the weight, but they just can't. And I'm not an expert in this, and I'm not trying to be an expert. I'm just speaking about it from my perspective and how I feel about it. And like I said, for me, I'm speaking from my experiences on how I had to handle dealing with losing weight. And like I said, I've done everything under the sun when it came to trying to lose weight. And right now, in the place that I am, one, I think because I'm at a certain age, I embrace who I am. I embrace my size. I embrace my weight. I'm good with it. And again, I'm good in my skin. So if I don't get to lose, let's say 50 pounds, which is not something I want to do anyway. Again, I just want to look cute in my outfits and and be able to walk up the stairs without huffing and puffing. Ultimately, that's my goal when it comes to managing and maintaining my weight. It's not about vanity. It's not about looks. It's not about trying to get somebody to notice me. It is certainly not about that, because it's all about me. It's always been about me. I've always been confident in myself, even when I was very heavy. And like I said, I was very heavy. And the funny thing was, what really sparked me to really take losing weight seriously was I had sciatica. I was heavy, so I was having a lot of back pains. So that was giving me problems. I was having issues with my knee. I was having issues walking up the stairs and walking and losing my breath. And back then I was like, I'm too young for this. I should not be going through this at this age. So when I went to the doctor, my doctor basically said to me, she was like, you're entirely too short to be this heavy. I was like, oh, I was taken aback. My feelings was hurt when she said that. But she was absolutely right. She was absolutely right. I really needed to take a hard stand on making better decisions and taking the initiative and doing something about trying to manage my weight. So again, I am never, ever going to be skinny again. That is not on my agenda. That's not what I want. I love the size that I am now. I'm forever going to be a thick chick. I love it. I embrace it. That's what it's going to be. But I also do make conscious efforts when it comes to maintaining it. I don't want to get to the point where I was before and I'm struggling with my knees and I'm struggling with my hips and I got sciatica all over again and I'm huffing and puffing walking up the stairs. It's funny. I am way healthier and feeling better about myself at this age than I was like 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy thing. But again, my mindset is different. I'm in a different space and I'm comfortable with who I am and I'm comfortable in the skin that I'm in. So regardless of what anybody thinks and regardless of if a man looks at me or not, Adina K. Presley, she's good with who she is. She loves who she is. She loves the body that she's in. So that's all that matters. And with that being said, that is Presley on Purpose. And I just want to say thank you so much for being with me today. I hope something that I talked about resonated with you. If it did, I hope you like it and you share it. And again, if there's something that you want me to talk about, let me know. If you love what you heard today, please let me know. Leave a comment. And again, I am not an expert. I am not a doctor. Okay, you've been hearing a lot about that. I am none of those. I speak from my own truth, my own lived experience. And that's what you're always going to get from me on Presley on Purpose. So again, this episode by Presley on Purpose was brought to you by Queens Royale, my lifestyle brand that you can find online, queens-royale.com. And again, if there's anything that you liked, anything that you love, like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys the next time on Presley on Purpose, okay? Have a wonderful night, and thank you again for being here with me. One. I'm not Presley by chance. I'm not Presley by mistake. I am Presley on Purpose.